What is going on YouTube? Hitting back making another brand new crypto TV episode. In today's video, we are going to be looking at XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, as well as the S&P 500. Specifically in today's video, I do have quite a lot of articles to talk about in regards to XRP, just a few of them to show you. We're going to be looking at the Xrp lawsuit, which as you guys can see, volume has been moving back into XRP since the lawsuit is getting closer to end, which is very exciting. And we also have Ripple lawyers talking about how the end of the SEC case might be in April of 2022, which honestly isn't that far away. We have January, which we're currently in, February, March, April. That's literally 3.5 months away. So I'm getting excited to see that we're nearing this end here and volume is starting to move back into XRP. This could ultimately see the price pump to the upside, as I am very bullish on XRP and pretty much most of these cryptocurrencies moving into the beginning first and second quarter of 2022. So I am excited to talk about these. We're also going to look at the ROTL ratio, which I'll explain to you guys, and why you should be using some stuff like this to basically understand where cryptocurrency is currently lying and how it could potentially be moving higher, as it has called the previous tops in crypto, specifically Bitcoin, in the past year for 2011, I believe, and then into 2013, and then even in the 2017-2018 bull market that we had when we saw prices retest 20K, we then saw prices dip lower, and this pretty much called the top here. So we're going to be using this again, which is quite exciting. Let me know down in the comments below if you've heard of the ROTL ratio in the past here, but we're also going to be looking at how I do believe XRP is coming to the end of its falling wedge pattern here, as well as some of these other cryptos. So as you guys can clearly tell, there's a lot to talk about in today's video. Today will be a very, very exciting and good video in regards to technical analysis and new indicators for you guys to learn. So definitely stay tuned and watch the video till the end. But with that being said, guys, definitely make sure to smash the like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe, because we will be hitting 100K subscribers this year. I guarantee it. Yeah, and let's jump into today's episode. So I don't even know where to begin first. There's so much to talk about. I guess the first thing to look at is the current coin market cap. Top 10 cryptocurrencies. Everything is consolidating once again. Another day of 0.6% trading, and most of the cryptos are just flatline trading sideways as expected. Not really seeing much movement in XRP or in Bitcoin or in Ethereum, the major cryptos that we look at here, which is expected, as consolidation has pretty much been the only thing we've been looking at for probably the past week and a half now here. And you can see, looking at these cryptos here, that XRP is pretty much finishing up its falling wedge pattern here. We do have bottom pretty much drawn on right here that we may or may not retest, but I do believe we are going to be breaking through this downtrend very soon. And if we do see that and close the daily above there, then I do believe it's going to start to stem us back to the upside with our target at point D on our Elliott wave graph, which I will show you guys in a minute here. Also looking at Ethereum, which is still in a huge falling wedge pattern here that is still continued. The only problem, which is getting me slightly nervous with Ethereum, which isn't like a bad thing, but it is getting me slightly nervous, is the length of this. Since the beginning of December into January right now, we've managed to close the gaps here on the daily moving average, and we're getting very close to seeing a bearish cross on these moving averages, which is necessarily, it usually tends to be more of a bearish reversal, indicating prices to dip lower. We could still break above here, or we could just bounce right off of this and head up higher. It's very possible. There's a lot of variables right now, but we are still waiting, patiently for a break in most of these cryptocurrencies, with XRP above the falling wedge and Ethereum above its falling wedge as well. Bitcoin as well is mainly just consolidating. A lot of these cryptos have been just consolidating for days. Also the S&P 500 too. Yesterday was a good day for the S&P 500, currently hitting another top resistance here. You can see drawing the horizontal line, we have a new top here, which, we see these not necessarily hitting the top resistance just yet, but we do see prices actually find some sort of resistance, not always on the way up. You can see reversal and rejection here, and it continues. Like, there are prices that do get rejected on resistance here and act as top price ceilings as prices start to climb in the overall ascending fractal here. You can see the S&P 500 for the most part has had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days now of pretty much just flatline sideways trading. What's interesting is Bitcoin as well has had maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days of flatline sideways trading once again. So it's peculiar to see all these cryptos, for the most part, pretty much it's mainly Bitcoin and the S&P 500 building something where we could see a pretty substantial run in volume, or a pop that we're looking for here. Within Bitcoin here, consolidation usually it's fairly, markets are volatile. Cryptocurrency is a volatile market here, and when prices trade sideways, it's usually an indicator that something big is going to come, because we don't usually see slow movement within cryptocurrency, which is such a volatile market. So trading now at about 43, 42 on the relative strength indicator, we're going to see something pretty substantial happen within Bitcoin. Also bottoming out here, you can see it's been a continued sideways trade here, basically on the top of, bouncing off the top of its previous falling wedge. I'm trying to see if there's like another indicator that maybe we're missing here. Maybe there's like another falling wedge. It's definitely a harder opportunity to see here. Something like this, I don't know. It's very difficult and tough to kind of map out, but maybe some sort of downtrend like this. It's really nothing much. There's really nothing here to gauge your skills on. So I'm really just poking at the price. I'm not seeing anything that's really relevant to drawing on another indicator on the 4-hour. Maybe there is something on the hourly, but regardless, what I want to show you guys, which is quite interesting, is in regards, not only am I bullish on XRP's movement to the upside here, because I do believe we are going to be breaking through this 4-hour price here, but the 4-hour falling wedge pattern here, but jumping to the daily here, you can also see here that we are still bottoming off at bottom support here, and that's on the daily. Now checking the weekly, you can see we are currently intertwined with support as well as the moving average on the weekly, which is extremely it's extremely supportive, and the prices tend not to break through our weekly moving average. So I do believe we are going to bounce off of here, heading up to $1 as resistance first target, and then filling it and completing it at $1.10, which would be a fairly substantial run. So pretty much right around this level here. I do believe we'll break outside of this falling wedge on the daily and 4-hour here soon enough, and swing us up to this target as we've had in the past here when we broke out of the original falling wedge, the much bigger one. We shot up all the way to $1. Same thing, about $1.97 to $1 here. This is the first target level, and then another one to carry us up to $1.10 here. Now, the other thing to look at here is we're starting to see volume move us into the markets, which is interesting. You can see if we click on XRP, the current volume in the past 24 hours is up about 8.8%, and it's been continuing to move up too, which is quite interesting. More people are getting involved within XRP, and we're starting to see articles kind of appear here as volume above 1 billion, as Xrp Lawsuit are closer to the end. And then moving on from that, we then see how people are saying that Ripple's lawyer is confident that the SEC case will wrap up in April. That's really 3.5 months away here. And with that being said, we could see a pretty substantial run to the upside here, because it's usually after we find out that Ripple wins or that the SEC settles, volume is going to come back into, and we'll probably see XRP get relisted on a few more exchanges here, which is fairly bullish news for the price of XRP. Now, beyond just XRP and looking at that, obviously Bitcoin is the biggest indicator besides that lawsuit in regards to XRP specifically, but Bitcoin as a whole overall, there's something to look at too, which is called the HODL ratio. I have seen some other YouTubers talk about it, and I thought this was quite interesting, and we should share it here on the channel, as it might be beneficial for everybody to learn this here. So a few things to check out. So this is by On-Chain College here, who posted this. He says the HODL ratio has been historically accurate in identifying Bitcoin's market cycle tops, basically the top of the market. And I feel like a lot of people right now are getting fairly bearish on market sentiment and expecting to see prices dip even lower. They're expecting to see more dumps to the downside here, bearish in 2022, and that maybe we've hit the top. That's a big one, is that people think that we've seen the highest price that Bitcoin is going to go to being 60K. You can see people thought this was it. Like, this is the top for Bitcoin, and we're going to continue to enter a bearish movement, as we have in the past here. You can see in the past, this was back in 2017, 2018, where we hit the top. We hit about $20,000 on Bitcoin, or yeah, I believe it was closer to 20K. I don't know how it has it on the charts here, but we did hit 20K, and then we started to see a correction, and it did call the top resistance, and we saw quite a substantial consolidation pattern after that. And you can see what's interesting now is he says here two things: that we've never crossed into the overheated red zone this cycle, and I want to show you guys that, explain what that means for those that don't necessarily understand the HODL ratio. And it says we're at the same level now at $47,000 that we were at $33,000. So I'll explain what that means as well. So you can see this basically shows that we're at the same level here on the Rodel ratio, and the price at 30K is at the same price we are currently at 47.6, 33K and 47.6. We're much higher up, but we are at the same Rodel ratio, which is cool. And then he goes, the reason I like the Rodel ratio so much is because it didn't falsely call a top in 2013 on the first leg up. Quite a few other OC metrics were in their respective red zones during this first peak. So it says, okay, well, we've seen other metrics show and other indicators show you call a top, call an overbought market, expecting to see correction to the downside. This chart doesn't, which means it's fairly accurate. And you can see here, let's see how it plays out. So it shows you back in the past here, the actual tops for Bitcoin specifically here when we saw prices retest 1K back in, I think, 2011 here. We were overbought. You can see back in 2013, it didn't call the top yet. This is where it called the top back in 2014 here when we entered the red zone here. And then you can see moving forward back in 2017, 2018. This was, I believe, the top where prices hit 20K on Bitcoin. Maybe this Bitcoin graph is not as accurate, but we did hit 20K on like Coinbase and stuff like that. And it shows that we were overbought as well, and then we saw prices dip. We're not at that right now, and that's the interesting part here. So jumping to the actual Rodel ratio, you can see it says, I don't want to talk about the indicator overview, but basically how to use this. So the indicator is able to identify the great accuracy of the price high of each of Bitcoin's previous macro cycles. It identifies the market top within a few days of accuracy. And the Rodel ratio entering into the red band signals that the market is approaching the top of a cycle. And this has historically been a good time for investors to take profit in each cycle. So unlike other on-chain indicators, Rodel ratio does not give a false signal of cycle highs in April 2013, and it gives a unique advantage over other on-chain indicators. And you can see in reference here that each time you can see the red band here, this is the Rodel ratio. Each time it hits a high and enters this top red zone here, it indicates the top where you should take profits expecting a bear cycle to continue. Now, I wasn't around for 2013 or 2014 here, but I was involved in it in 2017, 2018, and this is what happened here. Prices shot up, and you can see Bitcoin price hit about, and it shows 19,300. So this is fairly accurate. Bitcoin price in the blue that you can see as an indicator hit 19,300. And you can see the Rodel ratio was entering this red band, which signals overbought, and we should expect to see a dip and a correction back to the downside. And that's exactly what happened. We saw a bearish market, and we had a dip to the downside here. Basically then showing you when markets are undervalued here and a good time to buy in, which is quite interesting. You can see this has shown on multiple trends here when markets are a good time to buy in this green indicator, and that you can leverage to the upside or buy into the upside here. So we showed extremely undervalued back when prices were at $3,400, entering this Rodel ratio zone here of positivity, like a good time to buy into this green band right here. And then we started to see prices swing up. Now, guess what? We're currently trading at 47,000, or yeah, I believe 47,000 and change, or 46,892 currently on the Bitcoin price. And guess what? We're currently trading at about 38 on the Rodel ratio, 3,886 at the same price we were back at $33,000. So Bitcoin's price, and this is what he talked about before, is trading at 33,000. When we were at 33,000, we are at the same point as we were now at 46 or $47,000 on the Rodel ratio. The same price here. Now, I don't see prices actually dipping lower here, but it also shows that we have so much more potential to head up higher, which is why I strongly believe we should be able to see prices approach 60K again, 70K again, 80K again, 90K again, until we see prices so high up that it's time to take profits, sell off, and we could expect to see markets dip. But we haven't hit that yet, which is why I strongly believe markets are still going to head up within Bitcoin and all these other cryptocurrencies moving forward. Now, that's long term. That's expecting the rest of 2022, or at least majority, 2 or 3 quarters of 2022 to swing us up fairly bullish here. And you can also see this is now short term. We're looking at day-to-day technical indicators here that, yeah, we're trading sideways right now, but I do expect to see a break. Same thing with the Ethereum's falling wedge. We need to confirm breaking above this falling wedge downtrend and above $4,100 for us to break bullish above the price ceiling. That would indicate a big recovery. XRP as well is getting very close to breaking through its falling wedge, and then I do believe we're going to see prices swing up. So ultimately, what I'm waiting for on XRP to buy in, as I said yesterday, is prices on the daily to close us above the downtrend. We close above that, I expect to see a full recovery back up to 97 cents, testing previous highs here. And you can see leaving the Falling wedge pattern on the 4-hour. We're getting close. We had retested this yesterday after consolidation. We saw a dip, small dip from 85 cents to 83 cents. Now we're once again retesting the downtrend. So we might see another dip, and let me just draw this out. We might see another dip like this, consolidate in today. But at some point we are going to break through this, and I do strongly believe a run is going to come. So that's pretty much going to wrap up today's video, though. That's going to wrap up today's video, guys. With that being said, definitely make sure to smash the like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Peace.